Here we are. We're doing this a little bit earlier this week. This is us checking in with our weekly letting go guidance. See what we can focus on letting go of in this final week of November. And so it's final week of November, and tomorrow we have the new moon. So I don't know about you, but this is the time of year where I really start to reflect on all of the things that I've achieved in the year that we're starting to wrap up, and then moving forward into what are we going to create in 2020. And I can really feel a sense of excitement about what we can um, see, what we will be experiencing, we're going to create in 2020. 2020 is going to be clear vision, taking responsibility, actually getting things achieved and accomplished in a really good way. All that being said, just take a nice deep breath with me. The idea of this letting go idea that I'm sharing with you is that, so I just shared with you that we have a lot of potential that we get to step into in 2020. But I don't know about you, but there's still places that I could improve, that I could do better, that I would like more insight, more clarity. And so that's why we just come together here, take a nice deep breath, put pause on all of the things that you've got to do. And if you're here live with me, say hi. Or if you're watching the replay, still just take a wee pause whatever time you watch this, or whenever you are, wherever you are, just take a wee moment for yourself. And as you take a wee moment for yourself, we can just have that little inquiry within. What can I focus on letting go of this week in order to more fully align with my heart's desire, with my soul's calling, with my purpose, with my intention? And let's see what's going to come up for us this week. So it's judgmental thoughts. So how does judgmental thoughts come up for you? Do you judge yourself? Do you think you should be better, different? All too often, there's always this sort of sense of yes, but, so when somebody says to you, you're so good at this, or you're a great person for that, or you look great, or that was a really wonderful project or thing that you offered, do you then internalize that and embrace it and say thank you? Or do you say, oh, it was nothing, or, so and so is better than me, or that person gets it more than I do? So just watch, where do judgmental thoughts come up? And the other part that I'm just thinking of too, as I feel into that idea of judgmental thoughts, is comparing yourself to other people. Sometimes we can tend to judge ourselves because we think we should be like what we see other people appearing. So see how that comes up for you this week. Judgmental thoughts, and I'm going to just read out in the guidebook, in my guidebook here, to see what else can we focus on. Hey, Ashley, nice to see you here. So, and that's funny, the judgmental thoughts doesn't want to let us read about it. So here we go. So, let go of the need to worry about what's going on in other people's lives. So there's where I was saying about comparing ourselves, looking at other people. Also, let go of the need to label your own habits and behaviors. Each one of us has an inner judge, but it's possible to release yourself from the incessant judgmental chatter. The best way you can do this is to ensure that you are in the present moment. Just take a deep breath. Come into this moment. Learning to become mindful of your thoughts in the present moment is a crucial step toward the ultimate release of judgmental and fearful thoughts. When you are unaware of how your thoughts may be impacting your emotions, bodily sensation, and interaction with other people, it's quite difficult to let fearful thoughts go. You can apply mindfulness to your experience with judgment and fear by committing to direct your attention toward such thoughts as they come up, noticing that they are just thoughts created by your mind. They're not necessarily facts. When judgment arises in your consciousness, try labeling them just as that, judgments. Allow yourself to have such thoughts without acting on them impulsively. Just observe them, accept them in the moment, and let them go. So see how you can do that. The thing that's kind of coming into my awareness as I visit with that too, is that see if you can work on. Hi, Sandy, nice to see you here too. So we're working on letting go of judgmental thoughts, and so see if you can just witness them, and from a interested observer. Sometimes when we're tired or we're not honoring what it is we need, we can have these judgmental thoughts, telling you should have done something different. And just witness that. Just love it. Let it go. It's when we can start to love all aspects of ourselves. So even if you have a habit that or a propensity to do something that you can then judge as being wrong or unhealthy, truth is, you cannot change that or get rid of it unless you lovingly accept it. And this is really funny because a lot of my clients will say, "Oh, if I accept it, then I'm saying I keeping it. I'm keeping it." So let's say it's a habit of drinking too much or smoking or eating, and I turn around and say, "Well, you have to accept that." Then a lot of people will internalize that and think, "Well, that means I'm going to keep it." But it's not true. When we get to a space of just saying, I accept what it is with no judgment, just lovingly accept all that is, then you can actually take a healthy choice or make something different. But it's too often that we try and punish ourselves into healthy change. And that's not going to work. Don't know about you, but I don't like somebody harping on at me and telling me I have to do this, And yet we do it to ourselves all the time. So see how you can lovingly embrace that judgment or judgmental thoughts, and then watch, the magic will start. They'll start letting go. And so, this is awesome. I pulled a tarot card to support us with this. And look at that. When we can let go, yeah, well said, Sandy. Sandy says, observe the thinker within. You're quite right. But you see, when we embrace all aspects of us, the world is in the palm of our hands. We get to create and be and experience everything that we intended to from a soul level. So this is a very important piece on watching those judgmental thoughts, because sometimes, when we buy into too much of the judgmental thoughts, it's almost like a filter that we then view what's happening around us. So instead of getting caught up or buying into what your mind's telling you, just fire it. Fire your mind. Tell it to go sit in the corner, that you're not listening anymore. Or actually distract yourself into, accepting I'm being judgy right now. Take a deep breath and then maybe ask that component of you, or that sort of judgy part, give it another job. If you've got a judgmental thought of comparing yourself to somebody else, you could say, thank you for that judgment. Now help me steer into the best choices for me, and see what happens. See what happens when you start having a better relationship instead of just resisting it or trying to shut it up or put it away, which is all too often what people will do when they have these judgy thoughts, because it just kind of goes into a wee bit of a spiral. So now I've got Doreen Virtue's angel cards here, and I'm picking 3 cards to support us, and they sure do support us with this idea of letting go of judgment. So when we unleash our own inner power, we can actually create what we intend to. So letting go of judgmental thoughts unleashes your true inner power, which is pretty awesome, which then helps you get into a sense of serenity, peace. And you know how I was just saying to you about sometimes when we have too many judgmental thoughts, it's almost like a filter that we then see. It's like it judges or changes or skews what we're actually seeing. And so when we let go of judgment, we can start to have enchantment. We can actually start to really see the divinity and the amazing energy that's available all around us all of the time. I hope that helps you. And just as 2 quick wee announcements for you. Tomorrow is the Ask the Tarot event. And so I'll put the link for that in the comments below because it'd be lovely to see you there. It's a wee bit later tomorrow, but because that's an event that I've been hosting once a month. So it's an event called Ask the Tarot. And the other thing that's really exciting is I just launched my podcast. I've co-created a podcast and it will be airing episodes every other week. So the first one went today. So I wish you a wonderful week and releasing those judgmental thoughts and judgmental pieces. Much love to you. Thanks for watching.